साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये पञ्चाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिन्निधि नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशधारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Okay, so today we will start with the second chapter. Okay, so I'll start my share the screen and you can see my screen, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
Okay, so Karthik Prabhu, your recording started. Okay, thank you. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Okay, so the second chapter, it is the summary of Gita. Okay, so please let me know if I'm a little speed, if I need to reduce my speed. Okay, so the summary of Gita, that is Gita Saramsha. Okay, so it is basically the main, everything about this Bhagavad Gita, it is mentioned in the second chapter. Okay, every answer you will get, that is the basic, it is the basics, what we speak about soul and body and all. A quick recap. Okay, yesterday we told that there are 5 reasons why Arjuna telling Krishna that I can't fight, right? He was telling his compassion, and he is worried about the sins which he might get after killing his teachers. Then he was worried whether he can be happy, can't enjoy, then the family tradition will be lost, and he's indecision. Okay, I think you have noted out these 5 points, right? Why Arjuna didn't fight. So that was the recap we had yesterday, what we discussed, the compassion, how he was feeling, how can I kill my cousins, right? He was feeling that, and he told there's no enjoyment. How can I enjoy or be happy after killing them? And he thought there will be sin. Okay, it's papa to kill my teachers and cousins and all that, and family tradition will be lost. That's what he thought, right? The family tradition will be lost. And there was indecision. He was not able to decide whether to fight or not. Okay, so this was the 5 reasons. Okay, now today the second chapter, it starts with the 7th sloka. This is the important sloka, and where Arjuna becomes the disciple, okay, shishya of Krishna. So in order to understand Bhagavad Gita, we need to have a guru. Okay, we need somebody who can train us in this concept of Bhagavad Gita. So Bhagavad Gita, since it was spoken by Krishna, he is the universal guru. He is guru, okay, Jagat Guru of everybody. But since gurus are the representative of Krishna, we need to have a guru. Now we are following the teachings of A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. So Prabhupada has given us this Bhagavad Gita so that we can excel in life, or we can find out the goal of life. Now this is a sloka which states, Karpanyadosha Swabhava Prichami Tvam Dharma Samutta Yashreyasyanishchidam Brohi Tanme Shishyasteham Sadimam Tvam Prapannam. Okay, so here it is very important. This word is Shreya. He is asking what is good for me, and Shishya, I am your disciple. Now, so Arjuna is speaking this, okay? He is saying, I am confused about my duty and have lost all composure because of weakness. So he's having Hridaya Daurbalya, or weakness of the heart. So he's confused and lost all his composure. See, Arjuna was so tensed. He was crying. We saw yesterday. He was crying. He was shivering, and he was so upset that he sat like this on the chariot, right? So he's confused about his duty, and he's telling Krishna, in this condition, I'm asking you to tell me clearly what is best for me. Shreya means best for me. So he is telling Krishna, please tell me what is best for me. Now I am your disciple. He is telling, he is surrendering to Krishna. Arjuna surrendered to Krishna by saying, I am your disciple and a soul surrendered unto you. Please instruct me. So when you all joined the school, okay, you joined, you saw the principal, you have your teachers. So you all have indirectly surrendered to Krishna or to your teacher. Krishna, in the sense, he is representing guru or teacher. So you have surrendered to Krishna, you have surrendered to Krishna, and then only you can learn Bhagavad Gita. Similarly, you have surrendered to your teachers, then you can learn your knowledge. Okay, so see, you can see here, see, Arjuna is requesting Krishna, okay, please accept me as your disciple. See, we can't compel the guru, okay, I want to be a disciple. No, we need to request them. Okay, we need to surrender. See how Arjuna is surrendering to Krishna. Unless you surrender, unless you have faith in the teacher, you can't learn it. Okay, so you kind of surrendering. See, Arjuna is very much surrendering and telling me, Krishna, I have these 5 problems in about this war, what to do, about compassion, indecision and all that. And Arjuna is telling Krishna, please accept me as your disciple, and I am a soul surrendered unto you. Please instruct me. So is this clear, no? So Arjuna is confused about his duty. He's a Kshatriya. And what is the duty of a Kshatriya? To fight, right? Kshatriyas has to fight. We have Brahmins, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and Shudras. So Brahmins, they impart knowledge, Vedas, okay? And Kshatriyas, they fight. Okay, so Vaishyas, they make this food and do cow protection to give us food. Shudras, they help, they are the working class. So Arjuna, being a Kshatriya, now he need to do his duty of fighting, but he lost everything, all hope, and he is surrendering to Krishna. Okay, this we saw yesterday and how he was. So a takeaway lesson from this is that during tough times, okay, we have some problem, either we give up or reach out to a higher power. So giving up is not the solution. So we can't give up, okay, because life will have problems every time. When you grow, when you reach your 10th standard, 12th standard, college, you have lot of problems, and you can't, there are tough times, exams and so many problems, and you can't give up. You need to do something. So what you should do is reach out to a higher power. Higher power means somebody who's superior to you, somebody who can instruct you. That's what Arjuna did. What did Arjuna do? Now we saw he surrendered to the supreme controller, Krishna. He reached out to the supreme powerful Krishna. So let me ask you, is a power, vision perfect? So can we see this eyes? We can't even see the microorganisms, right? We need a microscope to see the small organisms. So the eyes are not perfect. The ears are not perfect. We can't, not like dogs. Dogs have sharp ears. They can hear very good sounds, but we can't. Humans have defective senses. So we have 4 defects, humans. In out of that, one defect.
Ashwarya Mataji, bit slower. The word
Okay,
is
okay, okay. So last slide was okay, no?
okay, yeah.
Yeah. So here, so our vision is not perfect, okay? So we have imperfect senses. What are the senses? Eyes, ears, nose, okay, tongue, and touch, the skin. So the senses are imperfect. We don't have a perfect sense. But Krishna is the master of sense. He's Rishikesha. Okay, so our vision is not perfect. Now, so who is Krishna? Let us examine this. Okay, so can somebody tell this? Some people have raised their hands. What can you see here in this picture? Yes, Mohit, you can unmute. What do you see here, Mohit? Okay, Markham, can you say?
Clouds, water.
Yeah, clouds and water. Okay, fine. So you can see clouds, then water bodies, right? So this is not clear enough, no? So you are going in a car, you parked your car, and you're seeing this beautiful scenery, okay? It's like clouds and mountains and all. Okay, now let me invite you for a walk. Please get out of your car and just go closer to this mountain. Now, after that, what do you see? Yeah. Sharavana?
Ma'am, I'm able to
Yeah,
see a tree, ma'am. I'm
tree,
able to see.
right? Yes. Okay, thank you. So you got down of the car, okay? First you saw mountains and clouds and all, and it was not clear. Now you got down of the car and you started walking near that mountain. You saw many trees, and one of the trees here. And after that, again you walked little more closer to the tree. Okay, and then what you saw? Ashley? Ashley?
It's a parrot, ma'am.
Yes, yes, thank you. So it's a parrot. Now we can see you for first we could not see it, right? First we could not see. First it was a mountain and full of clouds and all. It was vague. You could not see it. But when you walked nearby, you could see the tree. And then again you walked close by, you could see a parrot sitting on that tree and eating some fruit, right? So this is what our concept of God is. When we see God from far away, we see it as a light, okay? We don't see the God concept, the person concept. And we see the whole light, okay? So like this, full light, okay? Some, because this light is Brahma Jyoti, Brahma, Brahman, it is coming from Krishna's body, God's body, so much of light. And this is what people think. That's why they think God doesn't have a form, but that is wrong. It's like seeing a mountain. When we saw in the mountain, nothing we saw in the beginning, right? The first slide. So it's like that. Bhagavan concept is in 3 level. So first level is the Brahman level, okay? Now you can see the light. Second level is the Paramatma. See in the middle here, you can see a 4-handed form. That is Paramatma in our heart. So Paramatma is in everybody's heart. Sarvasya chaham hridi sannivishtam. And Krishna also says, Ishvara sarva bhutana hridesharjuna tishtati. So he is in everyone's heart. So first is Brahman, the light. Second is the Paramatma. And the third is Bhagavan concept. See how beautiful Krishna looks, right? With a peacock feather, with a flute in his hand, and he's talking to the parrots. You know the parrots of Radharani, that is Shuka and Shari. Okay, parrots. And Krishna is so happy. He's so blissful. So Bhagavan, the concept of God has 3 levels. Okay, Brahmedi, Paramatmedi, Bhagavanedi Shaptyade. There are 3 concepts. First is Brahman. Brahman means no form, just the light. And some people, yogis, they concentrate on this light and meditate. But that is not the final level. It's just the beginning. The second is the Paramatma. I will take the questions at the end, okay? So next is the Paramatma. So Paramatma is a localized concept where Paramatma is in everybody's heart. Everybody's, not only humans, animals, birds, everybody has Paramatma in their heart. And the third concept is Bhagavan, which is the highest, okay? And in Brahma Samhita, Brahma says, Venum Kanvanta Aravinda Dayaladaksham Barhavadamsham Ashitam Buddha Sundarangam Kandarpakodi Kamaniya Vishesha Shopam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bachami. So, first concept today, first takeaway lesson is, who is God? Krishna. Krishna is God, okay? The supreme personality of Godhead. So, all children, please note down in your book, God is a person, okay? No, if somebody tell you God is love, God is light, no, don't accept it. God is a person. He is Sat Chit Ananda. What is Sat? Sat Chit Ananda. Sat means eternity. Okay, he's permanent, he's eternal. And Chit is knowledge. He's full of knowledge. And Ananda, he's always happy and blissful. See, he's smiling. Okay, so God is a person. Okay, first we learned God is a person. And he is Krishna, the supreme personality of Godhead. Brahma again says, Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha Anadir Adir Govinda Sarvakarana Karanam. He is the cause of all cause. So as I told you, the 3 concepts, you can see the Brahman, the whole light. Next is the Paramatma in our heart. And next is Krishna, the form, okay, of God. So this you should know, first thing. What does Bhagavan mean? I told he is Bhagavan, right? And in Bhagavad Gita, we see Sri Bhagavan Uvaja, right? So who's Bhagavan? Bhagavan means who has all 6 opulences. So please note down, Bhagavan or God has all the 6 opulences. If somebody say, in this material world, in this world, nobody has all these things, 6 things. What is it? Aishvaryasya Samagrasya Viryasya Yashasya Shriya Jnana Vairagyoschaiva. So that means Aishvaryasya, God or Bhagavan has 6 features, okay, 6 opulences. One is Aishvaryasya, wealth. He is full of wealth. See, if we can see Ambani or somebody in this world, he is rich, right? But he doesn't have all other things, okay, what I'm going to talk to. Only one thing he has. Then beauty. Like in case of you can see it, some actress Aishwarya Rai or somebody, she is beautiful, she is was Miss World, okay, but she doesn't have other qualities. Like that, Aishwaryasya samagrasya. So Krishna has all 6 opulences: wealth, okay, knowledge, power, beauty, renunciation, and fame. Got it? So wealth, okay, he is the richest. Krishna is the richest. Bhoktaram Yatyatapasam Sarvaloka Maheshwaram. He is the supreme controller and enjoyer. He is the richest, topmost. So wealth, okay. Knowledge. He knows everything in this world. Our past, present, future also he knows. He knows our previous Janma, next Janma, what is going to happen at the end of the world. Everything he knows. So that is knowledge. He is full of wealth. He is full of knowledge. He is the most powerful. He's having so much strength. He's the most powerful. He can destroy anything. He can create anything. Okay. He's the most powerful. And he's so famous. He has so much fame. That means he's so, I'm sorry, this power cut. That's okay. So there is this thing, power in Krishna. Okay. So he's so powerful. So the knowledge, wealth, power, okay, beauty, he's the most beautiful, and renunciation. Okay, so renunciation. So wealth, knowledge, power, beauty, renunciation, and fame. So renunciation means vairagya. See, vairagya, so yours. So that means vairagya or detachment. Okay, that is also seen in Krishna. It's in Vishnu Purana. Just have this idea that God should have all these features. In this world, nobody has all these features, and Krishna has these features. Now, we admire some people more than others only because of seeing one of Krishna's opulences. We admire some people more than other only because of seeing one of Krishna's opulences to a very faint extent. Even the good I see in me is his. So, but seeing limited amount of this opulences make us admire them. See, we may admire some people more than others, right? In this material world, okay, if you see somebody who's more beautiful or full of knowledge, you admire them, right? But that is because of seeing one of Krishna's opulences. I told you, Krishna has 6 opulences, and in that, some people have only 1 or 2, but not all 6. So just seeing that one opulence, we try to, what we do? We try to admire them. So that's what we do. But that is what is happening to us. Even the good I see in me is his. Whatever good I have in me, that is also Krishna's. So we should not be proud of ourselves. Okay. But seeing limited amount of this opulence make us admire them. So we are seeing small. See, when I was young, I used to admire so many people who were so famous. They were so famous for many things. And that is only one quality of Krishna. Okay. And we are doing this. We are admiring them just by seeing this limited amount of opulence, one of the opulence. But Krishna has all 6 opulence. Okay. While Krishna himself causes envy in us because we see the futility of everything, and hence we tend to reject him. And he is only making us do this, the material nature. Okay, the material nature is controlling us. We will deal with that later. We have 3 modes of material nature: passion, goodness, ignorance. So this is all controlling us, and we are seeing this in everything, and we tend to reject Krishna because we don't know. We are envy of him, we are jealous. But we should not be like that, because God has all these 6 opulences. Did Manat or Gaurangi join? Kalavati Mataji, Karthik Prabhu?
I didn't see.
Okay.
Yeah,
No
maybe
problem.
they didn't join. Yeah.
Okay. No problem. Okay. So, okay. Now this sloka, this is very
Ashwina,
important.
Isha chant, is it okay?
Yes, yes.
Whenever you're ready. Sorry to interrupt.
Oh, Hare Krishna Mataji, Prem Krishna
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna Mataji.
Hi, Krishna Kalavati.
Okay, Isha, you can start reciting this sloka.
Dehinasmini tadehe kamalam yavanam jara tadehantara prapti dhirastata namohyati.
Hari bol, very good. Okay, so dehinosmin yatadehe kaumaram yavanam chara. So what is happening here is, as the embodied soul continually continually passes in this body from boyhood to youthhood to old age, the soul similarly passes into another body at death. The self-realized soul is not bewildered by such a change. See, so first thing, okay, so first we told about God. The second thing, please note down, the second thing or the most important lesson is we are not this body. Okay, let me explain. This is my hand, right? This is my eyes. This is my ears, my nose. That's fine. Okay, that is mine. Okay, this is all mine. My dress or my body or my hand. Who am I then? Right? Who am I? So did you ever think of it? Okay, it's all mine. Okay, my eyes, my nose, that's fine. But who am I? So the first lesson is we are soul. Okay, we are spirit soul and we are not this body. Okay, now I'll give you another example. So we have a cage and a bird inside the cage. Okay, so the cage is the outer body and the bird inside is compared to the soul. Okay, and as a car is going, we need a driver, right, to drive the car. So the driver is compared to be the soul, and the outer thing, the car, is the body. So we are not this body, we are soul. Okay, now this soul, what it happens is it passes in this body. See, when I was born, like I was like a small baby, right? And I started crawling, walking, I started growing, right? And my body is changing. See, what was the body which I had when I was at the time of birth? I was a small child. But as I was growing and my body changed, right? Now I have a different body. But that doesn't mean I changed. I was soul. I am soul. And my soul is inside that body. So as I grow, I'll show you this picture. It's easy. See, when the baby is small, okay, the body is small. And as the baby grows, see, okay, now it became like youth, childhood, youth, then adult, then old age. So the body is changing, right? We can see, and you can see the white thing here. That's the spirit, the soul that's present in the heart. And it keeps going, right? It's the same thing. It doesn't change, but the body is changing. Okay, so like the body is undergoing the change, like boyhood, youth, old age. That's how the soul similarly passes into another body at death. See, here the man dies, this man dies, okay, the same boy, like here death happens. So what happens here? He got another body. Again the process starts. Okay, so that time we used to change our dress. No, when this dress is dirty or something, we change it, right? Like evening we put another dress. So similarly, at the time so-called death, okay, there is no death, but there's something called transmigration of soul. That means the soul, it migrates from one body to another body. Am I clear? So what happens here is, when we are born, okay, the body is born, the soul is not born. The soul have no birth, no death. It is eternal, okay, since it's part and parcel of Krishna. So the soul, it passes from one body to another body. See, you can see the soul is passing, and at that time of so-called death, the soul, it loses this body and takes another body, right? So the soul doesn't die. The body becomes old and the body dies, right? How we change the cloth. I'll give one more example. When I was small, I used to have a tricycle, like 3 wheels to support, small cycle. I was riding that. So as I grew up, I got a ladybird, which had two tires, like bicycle. Then in my college days, I used to take a two-wheeler scooty. Now when I'm working, I take a car. Okay, so I am the same person, right? But I am driving different vehicles at different age of my life. So that means my body is that, okay, but I am not changing. So I'm like, soul is not changing. Example, the vehicle is compared to the body and the soul doesn't change. So similarly, the soul is here. You can see it is same in everybody and it is eternal. It doesn't die, but the body changes. Okay, so the body, it changes from boyhood to youth to adulthood and old age. Okay, so this is the 4 main problems in our life: birth, death, old age and disease. Janma, mrityu, jara, vyati, dukkha, doshanu, darshanam. So these are the problems in life. Birth, okay, that is also a problem. And death, yes, old age and disease. Okay. So this is the concept we should understand. We are not this body. we are spirit soul, and at the time of death, the soul leaves one body, takes another new body. Okay, and a soul cannot be died or born. And if somebody knows this, he is not bewildered, confused by such a change. Okay, whoever knows this. Fine. So that's about the sloka. And next is 2.14. Okay, Isha, you're there?
Yes.
Yeah, you can recite.
मात्रस्पर्शस्तु कौन्तेय शीतोष्णसुखदुःखदः अगामापायिनो नित्यस्तां तितिक्षुष्व भारत.
Jai. Okay. Did I make you the co-host?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much. Matra sparshasta kaunteya shitoshna sukha dukkada. Okay, so shita ushna sukha dukkada. You know, winter and summer, right? See, the winter, all the leaves are gone, and summer, it's like this greenery. So winter and summer, it keeps coming, right? Summer, winter, the seasons changes. The same way, we have sukha and dukkha, happiness and distress, also changing. See, it is said, O son of Kunti. Kunti's son is who? Arjuna. So Krishna is saying, O son of Kunti, the non-permanent appearance of happiness and distress and their disappearance in due course are like the appearance and disappearance of winter and summer season. They arise from sense perception, O son of Bharata, and one must learn to tolerate them without being disturbed. See, non-permanent appearance. So it's not permanent. Once, see, you tell no, it's after a hill, there is a valley, like that. So the happiness and sad, distress means sadness. Both are like different side of a same coin. So you can twist the coin like this, you twist. So once happiness, then sad, again happy, again sad. So it keeps coming. How summer and winter comes, right? April, May, it is so hot, summer, and there's winter during December, January time. So there is summer and winter. It keeps changing the seasons. Similarly, there is happiness and distress also. It keeps changing. It keeps coming to us. And whoever know this, tolerate this. Okay, if we tolerate this, then we don't become disturbed.
Mataji,
Yes.
one children is asking to explain the soul part again.
Okay, I thought that's little difficult to understand.
Okay, thank you, Mataji.
Okay, so nothing but just understand that we are soul, not this body. So as I told you, this is my eyes, this is my nose, this is my tongue, this is my hand. Okay, but this is my body or my hand. Who am I then? Okay, I'll give you an example. When my grandmother passed away, okay, when my grandmother passed away, I was small and I went to my dad and asked, where is my grandmother? And he told, she passed away, she died. Then I was seeing her lying in the hall. Then I told, she's there, she's sleeping on the hall. So who died actually? So that was her body. Okay, the body was there, and that the body is there, but the soul left the body. Understood? The soul left. So if somebody is dead, means you've seen some animals and all. Okay, if they're dead means what? The soul left the body. Soul is the presence of soul is consciousness or life. Okay, so just understand this thing. I'm not confusing you. Just understand one thing, that we are spirit soul. Aham Brahmasmi. We are not this body. What we got, this outer thing, na? This is a covering of us, like a dress. It's like a dress, this body. We are not this body. We are soul. And the soul is situated in the heart. Okay, here. So when the baby is born from a mother and it grows, right, from childhood, youth, old age, and it comes like this. When the growth happens, the soul does not change. See, the white thing that's in the heart, it doesn't change. So when I was born, I was having a small baby body. Then I was growing, right? You all did that. So, but you remember still what happened in your childhood. So that means you are not this body. Where is that body when you were born? That's gone. So the body is changing. So the soul is still there. And if something happens like so-called death, at the time of death, what happens? The soul goes off. and it takes another body. So transmigration of the soul happens. Understood? Hope it's clear. We will explain it as it's coming. Okay. And now here it is said, Matra Sparshastu Kaunteya Shitoshna Sukha Dukkata. The happiness and distress, it keeps coming and it is not permanent. It is very temporary. Okay. And it is through our sense perception we do this, and whoever tolerate it. See, you have seen some pure devotees like Srila Prabhupada. He used to tolerate everything, whatever happened in America. He had so many problems. Okay. At that time, Hare Krishna, is my voice okay? Kartik Prabhu?
Mataji.
Okay.
Yes, Mataji.
So we should tolerate this and not become disturbed. See, some people, when they become a sadness thing, anything happens in life, they become so depressed, right? Though sad. No, it's just temporary. It's all a karma coming to us. Okay, so here Arjuna has been advised by Krishna that this happiness and sadness is like summer and winter. It comes and goes. Okay. Next is Isha, you can recite this.
न जायते म्रियते वा कदाचिन् नयं भूतो भविता न वा नैवूय अजो नित्य शाश्वतो अयं पुराणो न हन्यते हन्यमाने शरीरे.
Haribol, very nice. So, na jayade miryate. This is important. Na jayade miryate. There is no birth and no death for the soul. Na hanyate hanyamane sharire. For the soul, there is no birth, no death. I explained this, right? The soul doesn't take a birth. The body is taking birth. The soul, it have no birth, no death. He has not come into being, does not come into being, and will never come into being. He is unborn, eternal, ever existing. See, that means what? The soul is ever existing. We were with Krishna in Golok Vrindavan, and we have come to this material world due to our karma, and we have come here to enjoy. And Krishna, like a sweet father, gave this punishment to us, and we came here. Now we need to go back to him. So we are eternal and ever existing. So don't think that, see, Krishna is advising Arjuna that you don't think you are killing those cousins, your teachers. No, they were neither burned nor dead, right? They were neither burned. How can you kill somebody who has not taken birth? I know this is little difficult. It is difficult for adults also, elder people, to understand this concept, and for children it is very difficult. So what to do? I'll try my best to explain to you, but later on, it's just a beginning. Later on, many things will come out about soul. I will keep explaining to it. But just now, today, you just understand this thing, that we are not this body. We are spirit soul. And we are part and parcel of Krishna, the Lord. See, my finger, little finger, is the part of this hand, right? Similarly, we are part of Krishna, the God, okay? We are just a tiny part. And what is the function of this finger? To help my hand take food to my mouth and serve the body. Similarly, we have to serve Krishna by devotional service, okay? And the second point lesson you learned is the soul, it passes from one body to another. Okay, this is not our first life. Okay, for you should understand, this is not our first life. This is one of the life we had out of 84 lakh million species of life. We have been a plant in our previous life. We have been an animal. We have been a fish. Then finally we got this human life. For what? To know who am I? Who is God? Why am I in this world? Atato Brahma Jitnyasa. So you should know that you are not this body. You are spirit soul. You are part and parcel of God. And who is God? Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And the soul, it moves from one body to another body. And the soul does not die or take birth. There is no birth or death for the soul, and he has not come into being, does not come into being. So he has been eternal, unborn, okay, ever existing. And this is another property of the soul. Yes, Isha?
I don't know this shloka.
Okay. नैनं चिन्तति शस्त्राणि नैनं दाहति पावका न चैनं क्लेदयन्तेपो न शोच्यति मारुता न शोष्यति maruta. So this is telling nainam chintati shastrani. The soul can never be cut into pieces by any weapon, nor can it be burned by fire, nor moistened by water, nor withered by the wind. See, these are the properties of the soul. First I told soul cannot die or take birth. Now it is saying it cannot be cut into piece. Okay, now I'll give this example. Arjuna was fighting, right, with his bow and arrow, and some soldiers, they had sword. So if you cut a person or body, the body is dead, right? They die. But it is said here, we are not this body. We are soul, spirit soul. And there is a super soul called Krishna as Paramatma in our heart. The both of them are like two birds in the same tree. I will explain that. Here, just understand, we are not this body, we are soul, and the soul can never be cut into pieces by any weapon. So when Arjuna was fighting and all others were fighting with the sword is cutting the body, but not the soul. Nor it can be burned by fire. If somebody die by accident in fire accident, okay, the burning happens, the body is getting burnt. This body is made up of 5 elements: earth, water, fire, ether, okay, like that. So it has earth, fire, water, ether. So all this is making this body. So what this Panchindriya, or the 5 elements, it is nothing but a matter. Okay, it is made up of matter and it goes off. You know, when somebody die, they bury them or they burn them. So they just get dissolved. That body get dissolved. But the spirit, the soul doesn't do anything. Okay, nothing happens to the soul. So soul can't be cut into pieces by weapon, nor it can be burned by fire, nor moistened by water, nor withered by the wind. And soul, as if somebody asks, can you see the soul? No, it is very minute. It is 1 by 110,000 of the tip of the hair. See, my tip of the hair, if you cut this hair into 10,000 part, 1 by 10,000 part of the tip of the hair is the size of the soul, and it is present in the heart. And these are the properties of the soul. Just know, we are not this body, we are spirit soul, and we are part and parcel of God, and we doesn't die. The soul doesn't die. The body dies. The soul doesn't die. The soul takes another body. See here. See, this is a soul, and somebody is trying to put fire on the soul or water on the soul. It doesn't die. The soul can never be cut into pieces by any weapon, nor burned by fire, nor moistened by water, nor withered by wind. Okay, next. So this is a body identification. We have body and we have soul. Okay, two things, body and the soul. The soul is inside the body. As I told you, a cage and a bird inside the cage. Okay, the bird is the soul compared to a soul, like a car and a driver inside the car. Okay, so the body concept that we get stressed, right? So much stress. You have exam studies and many things. Frustration, yeah, because when you study and you don't get the expected marks, you're frustrated, and similarly you get depressed, you become sad, and you're anxious. Oh, tomorrow what's going to happen? Am I going to get a good college, good seat? So that's anxious, anxiety. This is all the bodily concept. Okay, but the soul, we feed our body but starve out the soul, which longs for Krishna. So we are, as I told you, part and parcel of Krishna. Jivera Swaroba Hoy Krishnera Nityadas. We are Krishna's das or servants, and we belong to him. He is our father. He is our supreme father. Okay, Aham Bija Pradapata. He is the father, and we are starving. We are having all problems because we are starving the soul. See, I told you this cage and the parrot or the bird inside. So one lady, she had this beautiful bird in a cage, and this cage, always she dusts the cage, she clean the cage, she paints the cage, she take care of the cage very beautifully. And what happened? She forgot to feed the bird. Okay, you should feed the bird, and the bird died one day. So everybody asked, what are you doing? You're cleaning the cage, outside cage, not feeding the bird. Similarly, we are cleaning our body, this body, we are cleaning it every day with soap and all that we are cleaning. What about the soul? You're forgetting the soul. That is the real you. And you are starving, making the soul starve. So it longs for Krishna. So what is the soul's food for the soul is? Chanting the Mahamantra, the holy name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So whenever we feel morose or sad, it is certainly due to the imbalance of nutrition between the driver, the soul, and the driven, the body. So I told you, if there is some imbalance, if you just take care, concentrate on your body. Oh, I need nice dress. I need nice food. I need a nice car. I need nice thing. So you're taking care of your body. You're doing so many makeups and massage and keeping your skin neat and using moisturizers and doing everything for you, keeping the body, very nice. What about the soul? You're forgetting the main thing, right? There is an imbalance of nutrition. So this is the word nutrition. You need to recharge the soul. So the soul is getting recharged how? By devotional service. And in Kali Yuga, you should chant the holy name of the Lord. Okay, Isha, do you know the sloga?
No.
Okay. Hato va prapshyasi svargam jitva va bhokshyase mahim tasmat uttishta kaunteya yuddhaya kridanishya. O son of Kunti, either you will be killed on the battlefield and attain heavenly planets. Okay. Or what will happen? Either you, so Krishna is telling Arjuna, two things can happen to him. One, you will be killed. Arjuna will be killed in the battlefield. That means he'll be defeated. And what he'll do once he's defeated, since he is a pure devotee and he is a good soul, he will go to heaven. Okay, heaven. You know, heaven and hell. Fine. What if he wins? Then he enjoy the earthly kingdom. He get the kingdom of Yadu dynasty, right? And therefore, get up and fight with determination. He is telling, Krishna is telling Arjuna, get up and fight. It's your dharma. You are a kshatriya. You need to fight. So you just get up, because two things can happen. I'll show you the picture here. So Krishna is advising Arjuna, two things you can do. Okay, two things will happen. Either you win, you lose. If you win, what will happen if Arjuna win? Obviously, he'll become the king, right, of that dynasty. What if he lose? That means lose means died, or the Kauravas killed Arjuna. What will happen? Since he's pious, he's good person, good soul, he'll go to heaven. So whatever it is, see, if he loses, that means if he die, see the Pandavas, they are all in heaven. Okay, and if he wins, he become the king. See, the whole earth, because those time it was the whole earth was controlling by the Yadu dynasty. And see, so what happens here? Krishna is advising Arjuna, two things can happen to you. So you, whatever it is, you need to fight. Kshatriya's dharma is to fight. Okay. Sugar, when you take sugar, you expect the sugar to be sweet, right? It should not be salty. So the dharma of the sugar is to be sweet. Similarly, dharma of the kshatriya, Arjuna, is to fight. So Krishna is saying, you fight, no problem if you win or lose. Okay, this is the answer to the question of happiness. Arjuna was asking, na, how can I be happy killing all these people? So Krishna told, there is no something called killing, because they are all soul. They never take birth, they never die. And second thing is, Arjuna is saying, I can't be happy without them. So Krishna is saying, why? See, either if you die, you get heaven. If you win, you get the whole kingdom. So don't worry. So whatever it is, you have to fight. Okay. So both is recommended. Okay. And what if he doesn't fight? If Arjuna doesn't fight, what will happen? Avashyavadamsya bahun padishyanti tavahita nintantas tava samvartyam tato dukkataram nukim. So enemies will defame you, right? And scorn your ability. What could be more painful to you? See, enemies. See, Arjuna, if he doesn't fight, what will happen? He'll get a bad name, right? He'll get a bad name. Your enemies will describe you in many unkind words and scorn your ability. What could be more painful to you? So Krishna is telling you need to fight, Arjuna, because if you don't fight, your enemies, who are the enemies? The Kauravas. They all will defame him, right? They will tell unkind words. Oh, he's like, what you call it, darpok, or he's just a very scared person, covered, and he's not fighting, he's running off, right? That's what they tell, unkind words. And they will Arjuna was supposed to be the he was the strongest, and Dronacharya loved him, his teacher. He was so good at his ability, and if he runs off, enemies will defame him, and that will be more painful. He can't live like that. So Krishna is telling him, fight, to fight, okay, because that defame thing should not happen to him. And then any small service that is done in this field is any small thing that is done is a good thing. See, here it is said, Swalpam abhyasya dharmasya trayado mahato payat. Okay, Isha, you know this? Neha yeah. Okay. Neha Vikramana Sosti Pratyavayo Navidyade Swalpamapyasya Dharmasya Trayado Mahado Bayat. Okay. If anybody, children like to recite, please tell me. Some people have raised their hands. Okay, next sloka. So it is said, Swalpamapyasya Dharmasya Trayado Mahado Bayat. Any small thing that you do in this devotional service, bhakti, that will save you from great danger. See, here you can see Hanuman. Hanuman's, you've heard about Ramayana. I'm not going in detail. When his tail was burnt, it was in fire during that, there was Ram Ravan war. When his tail was on fire, what he did, he burnt the whole Lanka with his tail. He was thinking when his tail was on fire, he was not thinking how to get rid of this fire. He didn't jump into any river. What he's thinking, how can I serve my Lord with this tail? How can I? So that should be the attitude of a devotee. How can we serve Krishna? How can we please Krishna with our small ability? So whatever Krishna, see, Hanuman, he's a greatest devotee of Ram, and he's always engaged in service, right? So even his this one tail is on fire. He went to Lanka and he burned the whole Lanka. See how service minded he is. And also Ram was helped by many people, right? Vibhishnan, who was Ravan's brother, then Sugrivan, everybody came and helped Rama. So anything, and I'll tell you a small story. See, you can see a rat here. Okay, once this rat, it went to a temple, okay, and it went to search of a cherry, and it was just going to get some food, but he didn't get anything. Finally, he saw a lamp, okay, a ghee lamp. A ghee lamp was there, and it was lighted by somebody, some devotee. So this rat, he saw that that glowing. It was so it was so glowing, and it was so attractive. The rat just ran near that lamp, and it just thought of eating it, and it just caught hold of the lamp. Okay, it was here in his mouth. The rat just caught out of the lamp, and that thing was in his mouth, and he was struggling because it was burning, and he did like this like this he did. So it became like an arati for God, because it was in the temple. He did like this, and he died. But what happened? He went back to Godhead, that rat. How? That soul of the rat, how did he go? It was not a service. He did unknowingly, right? Unknowingly, he did kind of arti, and then he went back. You know the story of a squirrel? There was a small squirrel which was helping Ram when Ram was building a Setu Bandhan. Means there's a bridge when he was building to go to Lanka. Okay, when he was trying to go, what happened? The squirrel was taking small stone and putting it in the river, in the sea. And then Hanuman thought, what is he doing? And Ram told, no, he is doing what he can. So in his capacity, he is doing that. That squirrel was helping. Hanuman and other monkeys were taking big stones written Ram, and they were putting on the river, and it was floating. But the squirrel was taking small stones, and Ram took that squirrel and patted it, because it was also doing some service. So any service you can do. See, as children, what you can do, when your mother's light lamp, you can go wash your feet and legs and face, or take bath, and evening time or morning, you can just light a lamp for your god. Okay, you have a small photo or anything at home, you can put some deepa, the agarbatti, or you can just pay obeisance. One small thing you do, pluck the flower from your garden and put it on the photo, put some tulsi leaves, anything you do, you get some nice this thing, fruit or something, just keep it in front of Krishna's photo or god. So anything you do out of love, Krishna accepts it. So any small service that is done, swalpam abhyasya dharmasya trayado mahado bhayat, it will save you from great dangers. So, and the best devotional service you can do is by chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, which is recommended in this Kali Yuga. And you can see here, see the Prabhupada's disciples, they are all Americans, and they see how they got trained with Shika and all, the small boy with Tilak and Kantimala, and they are foreigners, they are Americans. Okay, so still Srila Prabhupada's mercy that see they are getting trained in Vaishnava Sampradaya or Sanatan Dharma. See, this is getting lost in India. We, as born in Bharat Desh, we should be proud that we are so lucky, fortunate, and we have born in Bharat Bhumi. So, but we are forgetting our Sanatan Dharma. That should not happen. And see how the whole family is doing a devotional service to Krishna. And in this 2.41, this is about Arjuna and the Dronacharya. It is said, Vyavasayatmiga buddhir ekaha kurunandana bahushagahi anantascha buddhayo vyavasayinam. So vyavasayinam buddhi ekaha kurunandana. See, Arjuna was having one aim, right? See his eyes, he's just looking the bird and he's seeing just the eyes of the bird. When Dronacharya asked what you can see, he didn't say I could see the tree and bird. No, he just told I could see the eye of the bird. And that's his focus, how focused he was. Like that, when we have nice intelligence, we will be focused and we will concentrate on our goal of life. So we should have a goal in life and we should have one point concentration. But bahushakas anantasya, when we have too many thoughts and too many desires, everything gets scattered and we can't concentrate. So Krishna is saying Arjuna to have one kind of focus and just keep fighting. That is his dharma, right? That's what he should do. So Bhagavan Krishna is again telling, okay, what is he telling? Shri Bhagavan Vacha Prajahati yada kaman sarvan partha manogatan atmani evatmana tushta sthita prajnas tadochyate. The blessed Lord said, O Partha, Partha is Arjuna, when a man gives up all varieties of sense desires which arise from mental concoction, and when his mind finds satisfaction in the self alone, then he is said to be in pure transcendental consciousness. So that means when we have this mind is making you many desires. It is when you sit to study, the mind says, okay, watch TV, go play with your friends, eat ice cream, go talk to your parents, do that, listen to music. So this all the mind is giving you instruction. That is Maya. Don't listen to that mind. You have one concentration. This is my study time, I need to study. This is my time to learn Bhagavad Gita, I need to learn Bhagavad Gita. This is my time to play, go play. So everything is needed, but that is due to your sense desire. You are you want to you are desiring, your senses wanted to do it, but you should control it. And when the mind is controlled and it is satisfied with the self, then it is in pure transcendental consciousness. I'll give example of somebody called Prahlad Maharaj. Prahlad Maharaj was just 5 years old boy. Okay, he's a pure devotee. He was born to Hiranyakashipu. In Bhagavatam 7th canto, it is said beautifully about Prahlad, how he was a devotee of Lord. He always chant Vishnu's name, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. He always used to pray to Krishna. And whatever he did, his father, he was a demon. He tried to send so many demons, asuras. They tried to kill him. Snakes tried to poison him. He was put behind, under the elephant's leg. He was put in many problems. He was thrown from a hill. He was given poison. Everything happened, but Prahlad did not die. So that's what he is having so much confidence in Krishna, and his mind is totally fixed. in Krishna, and that is in pure transcendental consciousness. Another example is where he was Prahlad was made to sit in the lap of Holika, okay, his aunt, his Hiranyakashipu's sister. When Prahlad was made to sit, Holika is supposed to not die by fire, but what happened? Prahlad was protected by a shield and she died. That's why we celebrate now Holi and all. We can see small Prahlad sitting in the fire and he doesn't get burned, and he is in pure transcendental consciousness. Why this all happen to them? Because they are so strong with the soul. They are feeding the soul. We are not feeding our soul. Srila Prabhupada at the age of 70, now this is Radha Damodar temple in Vrindavan. If you go, you can still see this place. It's his kitchen where Srila Prabhupada is sitting and seeing Rupa Goswami's Samadhi Mandir and taking prasad. Srila Prabhupada Acharya, founder Acharya of ISKCON, what he did, he had one focus, just to spread Krishna consciousness in the West, in the English language. He did that. He was successful. Why? Because he could control his mind and his senses, and he was in pure transcendental consciousness. You can do this by starting by your tongue. The tongue is the first sense to control, okay? Seven mukhedi jihvado. So how you can control your tongue? By chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So this is my request, that all of you should feed your soul, the soul, because we are not this body. This body can die at any time. We are seeing corona around us, right? We have seen our friends suffering, many people suffering. So we have a short life, okay? Prayana alpayusa, it is a short life we have. So we need to do a karma, okay? As students, your karma is to study. You need to study, get good marks. Along with that, you should have this spiritual practice also in order to keep your soul positive. And what happens here? Isha, you know this sloka? Krodha Bhavati Sammoha.
I don't know the shloka.
You can try.
Krodha
Bhavati
Bhavati
Sammoha.
Samohat Smriti Vivarama
Ah.
Smriti Bamsat Bumadnaso
Bodhinasho.
Bumadnaso Buddha Nasat Vishayati.
Pranashyati. Okay. So, Krodha Bhavati Sammoha. Sammohat Smriti Vibrama. Smriti Bramshat Buddhinasho. Buddhinashat Pranashyati. So, from anger, what happens is, first is anger, then there is complete delusion arises, and from delusion, bewilderment of memory. When memory is bewildered, intelligence is lost, and when intelligence is lost, one falls down again into the material pole. Karthik Prabhu, can you mute everyone? So, Krodha Bhavati Sammoha, Sammohat Smriti Vibrama, Smriti Bamshat Buddhinasho, Buddhinashat Pranashyati. Okay. Okay, so Krodha Bhavata Sammoha. So from anger, what happens is, when we can't control our senses, why we become angry is, we are having some kind of sense attachment. Okay, we need something, and then that something doesn't happen. Okay, I need a toy, I need a new toy, but my parents are not getting me. Then I become angry, okay? Because I had this, I am so attached to that object, I started getting anger. And from anger, what happens? There is complete delusion. What is delusion? So there is complete delusion. That means I am just, 1 second, it is 6:30 now. Yeah, that's okay. We can just go a little more. Okay, so there is a false belief arises. Okay, complete delusion of us. And from there is bewilderment of memory. There is confusion happens. And when memory is bewildered, intelligence is lost, and when intelligence is lost, one falls down again into this material world. See how it happens when a boy girls meet the girl, and then there is love, and they meet, and then there is anger. Okay, they just fight, and all kind of crime happens. That's because you could not control the senses. Okay, this slide I will explain. next one, because we can explain in this. Now what happens here is, see, first is objects of sense. Okay, for example, my eyes, when I'm going through a road, I see a beautiful toy and my eyes get attracted to that toy, and I get attracted by the sound of that toy. And so objects of the senses, there is contemplation, I get attached. Okay, I get my attention is to that object, and there is attachment. I want that, I want that. I get attached because my senses, I couldn't control my sense. Okay, and I get attached to that object. Now what happened after attachment? There is lust. Lust means desires. Okay, I'm greedy, I want that, I want that. So first is object, I get to the sight of the object, then there is attachment to that thing, and then is lust arises. Okay, after that what happens is anger, because I'm not getting it, my parents are not buying that to me, so I get angry at my parents. Why they are not buying? Because it might spoil my studies, might be, that's why. But I get angry. And then in anger, there is delusion. I have some false belief. Oh no, my parents are not taking care of me. See, I get frustrated and all that. Then what happens after delusion? There is bewilderment of memory. So that means bewilderment of memory. Okay, that means there is confusion, okay, happening, because my memory and all is lost. That anger is controlling me, and there is loss of intelligence. My buddhinasha, my intelligence is lost. I should be calm, but that doesn't happen. And finally what happens? There is fall. So I fall down from my normal character. So this is what you should know. Okay, what is happening to us. So this is the most important thing which we should know. Okay, first the object of senses, then there is attachment, lust, then there is anger because we are not getting it, there is delusion, bewilderment of memory, loss of intelligence, and finally we fall. So this is the most dangerous thing. So you should cut it here itself. In anger, if you can't cut, at least you can cut it from here, the senses. Your senses can be controlled. So as children, that's what we should know. And takeaway lesson is, as I told yesterday, empty mind is devil's workshop, but it may or may not be, right? It is not necessary to be devil's workshop, but then nothing positive happens there. What happens? Certainly, it is not workshop where constructive thoughts can occur. No constructive thoughts, okay? It is just a workshop where always negative things go on. No positive things happens. Hence, one must not let it even contemplate on objects of sense enjoyment. That's what we should not allow it to get contemplated, the object of sense enjoyment. And this can be done by tasting the higher pleasure. So how can you do this is, your mind can be kept calm by enjoying a higher taste, which is devotional service or reading Bhagavad Gita. We are doing this now. See, you all have sat here and you have given off your sense enjoyment. You have sacrificed watching TV, going out. Okay, in Corona, you can't go out. Still watching TV, movies, everything, chit-chatting with your friends, everything you left, and you sat here for 1.5 hours, 1 hour to listen to Bhagavad Gita. So you're tasting that higher pleasure. Okay, once you do this, then you can control your senses. All the senses can be controlled, and then you have constructive thoughts in your mind. So the mind can be finally controlled, and that's what which we have engaged ourselves in for nearly last 1 hour in this workshop, right? So this is a summary of this chapter and the 5 reasons why Arjuna did not want to fight. Yesterday you were noting down, right? Compassion, no enjoyment, fear of sinful activities, destruction of family tradition, and indecision. This I told yesterday. So the reference is this slokas, where in compassion, Krishna is answering, see, we are not the body. I told you the first takeaway lesson. See, you just have to concentrate on this aspect today, children, is that we are not this body. We are spirit soul, okay? And we doesn't take birth or die. It's our body taking birth and die. The body is changing. The soul does not change. At the time of death, the soul leave one body, goes to another body. Okay, this is what we should know. So Arjuna was compassionate, right? He was feeling, how can I kill my cousins? But Krishna is saying they are not this body. The so-called cousins, they are not the body. Originally, they are soul. So even if Arjuna killed them, Arjuna is not killing them actually. He is just destroying their temporary body, which is given for a small time. And the soul is not dead. Next is enjoyment. Okay, Arjuna was saying, no, I can't enjoy. What Krishna told, if you win, you get your kingdom. If you lose, you got heaven. So heaven or kingdom, both are enjoyment only, but everything is temporary, like summer and winter. Fear of sinful activities. Arjuna was saying, no, I'll get sin by killing my teachers, but devotional activity, there is no sin. Why Arjuna's killing is a devotional activity? Because Arjuna is killing after getting the advice from Krishna. So whatever Krishna advises us in this Bhagavad Gita is Krishna's direct advice through his lotus mouth. So we should take this as Krishna's advice and do it. So devotional activity has no sin. It's akarma. That will be dealt in karma chapter. So it is akarma. And destruction of family tradition. He told, no, my family will be lost, tradition will be lost. But Krishna is saying, be a role model to prevent Varna Shankara. I think it's the slide is not clear. Okay, so Varna Shankara means unwanted population, unwanted progeny will be taken, will be there, and the peace of the society will be lost. So Krishna is saying, no, you be a role model and prevent this mixing of, because Arjuna is a Kshatriya and it's dharma of Kshatriya to fight. And if he doesn't do it, there will be mixing of the population, unwanted population will be taken birth, children will be there, and the peace of the society will be lost. And indecision. Arjuna didn't have a decision whether to fight or not. And Krishna says, serve the Lord with firm determination. See, you saw how the rat was doing, how the little, this one, squirrel was doing. So that is the service to the Lord, because Arjuna has to fight now because for Krishna. Krishna told, fight. So when Krishna tells something, we need to do it. So Arjuna has to serve the Lord with firm determination. Okay, he need to do this. So this is the end of the chapter. It's 6:40. We can take up some questions now.
I muted everyone, so whoever is raising the hand, we can unmute one by one.
You can digitally raise your hand, because I won't be seeing this thing. If you have questions, I know this is a very big chapter. There are 72 slokas, but I couldn't help it. It is a big chapter, but please read. I've posted the Bhagavad Gita PDF. Please read it. It has all the commentaries by Srila Prabhupada. Just understand, we are spirit soul. We are not this body. Okay. This is the main concept today. Takeaway lesson. And happiness and distress, it comes and goes, and we are part and parcel of God, and God can be realized as Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan concept.
Aishwarya, just want to say that at 7 p.m. My other class will come in, so you have till 7 p.m.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Mataji, are you able to hear me?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah, I'm just asking one by one to unmute Mataji, so that everyone don't go at the same time.
Okay.
Yeah, Kavish, can you please unmute yourself? Kavish Prabhu.
Okay, Rushan Prabhu, Karthi Prabhu, and Kalavati Mataji, you also can take questions. We can share. And,
Rushan has to be made co-host, Mataji. He's still.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah, I'm asking to unmute. Kavish.
You can unmute Amrita. Amrita is raising a hand.
Yes, I asked to unmute. Amrita, can you please unmute yourself, Mataji?
Hare Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Mataji, I have a question.
Yes, Kalavati Mataji, you can take this. Yes, ask.
Mataji, I was having a question of how to make ourselves not distracted from those unwanted objects. Like I'm very distracted.
Okay. Yes, Mataji, go on, Mataji.
Okay, what's your name? What's your name, Mataji? What's your name?
Amrita.
Amrita. Okay, you are very distracted. Okay, Amrita. Yeah. You are very distracted?
Yeah.
Amrita. In what way? In what way? While studying? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm studying. Yeah, studying.
Yeah. Okay, you have to, that one, no, concentration will not come by suddenly. Daily you have to practice little by little. Okay, today you should have, today you have to decide, today, I will make little 5 minutes meditation or 10 minutes meditation. In that way you decide. It will not come suddenly. Okay, beta? Just
okay,
try
Mataji.
yeah, try to chant, and day by day you try to concentrate yourself. That's all, beta.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Amrita, can you repeat after me? Hare Krishna,
Yes. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna.
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna Krishna.
Hare Hare,
Hare Hare.
Hare Rama,
Hare Rama.
Hare Rama,
Hare Rama.
Rama Rama,
Rama Rama.
Hare Hare.
Hare Hare.
Okay, just try to chant this. Might be like 10 times, 5 times, and then study. Every day do this. And you make your mind like, okay, I'm going to study, only study this time. Mind will keep going. Mind is like a monkey. It jumps from one branch to another, okay? It gets disturbing you. But try to bring back that mind. You can read loudly, you can hear it, you can see. Don't do it in your mind. Okay? And
Okay,
as
thank you,
Kalavati
Mataji.
told, yeah, it comes. It has to come daily. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Mataji, next, whom do you want to take next, Mataji?
Anyone.
Many.
Kalavati, what?
Your voice is not audible, Mataji. Aishwarya Mataji.
Many are there. Many are there. Roshan Prabhuji, unmute one by one. There are many children.
Yes, Mataji, done.
Okay, Divya is unmuted, I think. Divya?
Hare Krishna,
Yes,
Mataji,
Diya.
I have a question. Yeah,
Diya.
can you hear me? Yeah,
Yes,
I have
yes.
2 questions, Mataji.
Okay, Roshan Prabhu, you can take it.
Yeah.
Tell.
First question, did anyone know this Bhagavad Gita before Arjuna knew it, Mataji?
Yes, you will get it to know
Yes.
after
In
in 4th chapter, first verse, Krishna says it. So just wait for 2 days.
Okay, and Mataji, can you tell me the meaning of Bhagavad Gita?
Bhagavad Gita means Bhagavad means the Gita. Gita means the song sung by Lord is called as Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad means a transcendental song which is sung by Lord. Bhagavad because it is sung by Bhagavan Krishna himself, so it is called as Bhagavad Gita.
Thank
Okay.
you. Yeah.
Very good. Next, Neelima. Neelima, you can unmute. Monish Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Yes. Karthik Prabhu, you can take this.
Yes, Mataji. Yeah, please go ahead.
Yes, Monish.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Yes, please go ahead.
Mataji, I have two doubts.
Okay.
Go on.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yesterday, I had a doubt that Arjuna sent Krishna, Dharmaraj sent Krishna to Dharmaraj sent Krishna to Duryodhana to give 5 kingdoms. No, why did he not accept?
Because he was Dhritarashtra was more compassionate towards his own son Duryodhana, and
No, Prabhuji, his question is that why didn't Duryodhan give 5 villages to them?
Yes, Prabhu, you please go ahead, answer the question, please.
No, Prabhuji, you can answer, but I'm just framing his question that when Krishna went to him and asked for 5 villages for them, so why didn't he give them?
Yes, Guruji.
Yeah, Duryodhana was.
Yes.
Yes, Duryodhana was having hatred against Pandavas. He was not willing to give anything, even a needle of the ground. He is not willing because he is having hatred in his mind towards Pandavas from the beginning. He was trying to kill the Pandavas. He has tried all means to kill the Pandavas through Lakshagraha, by drowning Bhima in the water, and even he tried to kidnap. He tried to insult their wife Draupadi. So through all 5 means he has done all sorts of adharma. So he is basically adharmic. So adharmic person. That's why he is not willing to give even 5 villages.
Okay, Guruji. I have another doubt that before man said that you should not get attachment on any objects. So you should not attract. No, how to not get attracted?
Basically, like if you try to get away from the attraction, it will the nature's thing is like it will get attracted to the materialistic objects only. So that is the natural thing for all human beings. So the only way to get not attracted to material things will be to attach yourself to Krishna. So how that you will do? By chanting Mahamantra regularly. So the recommended way to chant Mahamantra is every day we recommend to chant 16 rounds. That is, one round is 108 times. So slowly you start chanting
No,
one
for
round, 2
children,
rounds.
for children it is.
Yeah, but for children you can start
And,
chanting one round to start with.
Okay, Guruji.
Yes, Prabhu. Prabhu, I am unmuting everyone. So every
Thank you,
children,
Guruji.
please chant after me. After me, please chant
Thank
Hare
you, Guruji.
Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare Rama,
Hare Rama,
Hare Rama,
Hare Rama,
Rama Rama,
Rama Rama,
Hare.
Hare Hare.
So please do this, okay?
మేడం మా సురేంద్ర సార్ ఎలా ఉన్నారు?
Okay, so if you chant this every day, like for just 5 times, 10 times, okay, 10 minutes it takes for 108. But that's okay if you can't do that because you're kids. You can just chant 3 times, 1 time daily, and slowly you can come up like that. Okay. So what about the raised hands? Okay, Sharavana.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Okay, Nilima. Okay, you have a question?
Can you hear me, Mataji?
Yes, Nilima. What is it?
Yesterday you were telling that Bhagavad Gita is a life manual for all those who come to earth. But
yes,
but people did not know before Srila Prabhupada spread this knowledge to us. So when he was born, what was the life manual?
No, it was Bhagavad Gita itself. There were so many commentaries of Bhagavad Gita. Srila Prabhupada made this commentary called Bhagavad Gita as it is. Okay, no other Bhagavad Gita, it's like as it is. So it has been altered. Some Bhagavad Gita, it was Bhagavad Gita itself. Okay, we'll be knowing like how 4 trillion years ago, how Krishna advised to sun god, that all will come. Okay, the chain was broken and then again Arjuna was advised. All this was there. Bhagavad Gita was the life manual from the beginning. But people didn't accept it. And it was Srila Prabhupada who translated word to word in English. Okay, from Sanskrit, he translated to English. Not only English, there are so many other languages also. And it was distributed worldwide. It was a Brihat Mridanga, like a printing press, like we have BBT, okay, Bhaktivedanta Book Trust, and it was distributed and then it became viral in the sense everybody, because it is as it is. The message has not been altered. So that's why it was Bhagavad Gita itself, but people didn't give much importance to that. But it was Srila Prabhupada who made this happen. You know, Bhagavad Gita, it was available to all of us.
And one more thing, Mataji, it is a parampara. There is no changes.
Yes, it's in parampara.
Parampara.
Yes.
Guru to disciple.
In the disciplic succession. Yes. That is also very important. It should come in the parampara. Saw some boys. Sharavana, you've got? Sharavana?
Mataji?
Yes, sir. Only one question because everybody has a chance. Yes, Sharavana.
Mataji, I have a doubt.
I'm sorry,
Yes.
Aishwarya, to interrupt, but
Roshan-
if I may please say, do you want to do the breakout room so we can take questions? There are so many children and only 10 minutes. Do you want to break the rooms?
Yes,
You can
yes,
give
okay,
me
I can
some.
let-
You can give Kalavati Mataji some. Roshan can take some.
Yes, Mataji. I will
Okay.
do that.
Thank you.
Okay. Meanwhile, Sharavana, you can go ahead. Rushan can take that question.
Mataji,
Yes.
I have a doubt, Mataji. You said that that is soul is eternal. Yes.
Yes, yes. Go on.
But when Arjuna was saying that I cannot kill my cousins or my guru because it is a sin, why it is not a sin, ma'am? Because we also say that go on vegetarian because we should not kill other. Since we consider it is as a body also, they told we should not kill it. Is it right, Mataji?
Yes, Rushan Prabhu, can you take that? I'm assigning rooms.
Yes, it is that ki if you kill an animal, you get sin. But for Kshatriyas, it is like one who challenges, you should accept the challenge. And Duryodhana had challenged that you should fight with me. So that's why he can't argue that I will not fight. And for animals, we can't kill because they can't. They don't have that consciousness. So by killing them, we make sins and we get something of animal kingdom in our next life if we do that.
Thank you, Mataji.
Okay, I think we'll go to breakout room and you can ask questions. Breakout room is it coming, Karthik Prabhu? Is the breakout room coming?
Mataji, there was no one in the room actually.
Yes, yes, they are coming. They are joining.
Even I had the same problem.
Can you please
They are
assign
coming, they are
again,
coming.
Mataji?
Yeah, even.
Yes, yes, I'm doing. They are coming, they're coming. Take it, take it.
Mataji, you didn't assign to me a breakout room.
No, I think she's doing it manually. That's okay, Aishwarya. Just go ahead with the flow, what you're doing. Or may I reclaim the host and do it on your behalf, Aishwarya?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay,
Yes,
then
yes.
I will make you the co-host, okay? Okay, so I'm going to assign the
Yes,
breakout rooms.
Yes.
So I'm closing all the rooms. Where are you, Aishwarya? You can go ahead taking questions.
Yes. Yes.
Lakshmi Priya, Hare Krishna. You can unmute yourself, Lakshmi Priya.
Lakshmi Priya has a question. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Yes, yes. Go on.
Mataji, we studied
What's your
about
question?
soul. Mataji, did soul have a habit?
Habit in the sense, any characters we told. The habit, everything. See, the presence of soul is like consciousness, okay? And the habits, it's from us, okay? We are doing it. But the soul is Satchit Ananda. It is eternal and full of knowledge, and it is happy, always happy, okay? That's the habit. But we have forgotten that. that habit, the actual habit of the soul has been forgotten. The soul is supposed to have a habit, the 3 habits which Krishna has. Sachit Ananda. All okay, it should be full of knowledge and it is blissful and it is eternal. But then we are not happy, right? So that means we have been covered up by this, we have been influenced by the 3 modes of material nature: passion, ignorance, and goodness. So the main habit that'll happen when you associate with Krishna. Only when you go back to get in touch with Krishna, that's why we are telling to chant Hare Krishna, so that that happiness will come in you, the permanent happiness. Okay?
Okay,
Hare Krishna.
okay, Hare Krishna.
Mataji,
Kathy,
is
you
it
can
done?
go ahead. No,
Okay.
nobody's joining. You did the right thing. People are not going.
Yeah, I just
That's
came
why I
back,
said,
Mataji.
because I think kids,
some
Okay.
kids were
many
coming,
didn't have
Mataji.
parents.
Okay.
Okay, you can ask question to Mataji, Prem Kishri Mataji. She is our Shiksha
No, no.
Guru.
No.
Please, Mataji, take some questions.
Kathy,
Please.
can you ask your question?
Kathy, can you ask question to Mataji?
Yes,
Kathy.
my question is that what are the 5 elements you mentioned our body is made of?
That is Panchabhuta, air, ether, earth, water, and fire. Kathy?
You got it?
Panchabhuta. 5 elements our body is made up of.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
I think 2 more minutes we need to end the meeting because there's another meeting happening. So please fast.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Hare Krishna. Go ahead.
Mataji, I'm not understanding the passage that Najayatre Miyate Vadakachin. What is the meaning of that line, Mataji?
Yes, Nachayade Miryade. There is no birth and death for the soul. I've explained now. There is no birth and death for the soul. So you are telling now somebody is born, the body is born, the soul has no birth. And when the death happens, the soul doesn't die. The body functions stop. Okay. And that is the meaning of that soul is eternal. It cannot die or it cannot take birth. There is no death or birth. Na jayade miryade. That's the quality of.
I'm having another question also. How Mataji Dhritarashtra was betrayed?
Huh?
How was Dhritarashtra?
How was?
Betrayed? Yesterday in class, Mataji.
Betrayed.
Yes, Mataji.
No, I was telling Dhritarashtra betrayed his the sons of Pandus because they were not even given 5 villages, right? So that happened not to Dhritarashtra. Dhritarashtra did that to the Pandavas.
Okay.
He should have allowed our kingdom to them. Yes. Okay.
Mataji,
So
we
it's
can
7
take
o'clock.
questions in the chat
To
actually.
end the meeting.
We can take
Yes,
questions
yes.
in the chat.
Wait. We can take few more. Okay, that's okay. My girls are not here yet. Rishit, go ahead, and then Ananya Acharya, go ahead. After Rishit, Ananya Acharya. Unmute yourself.
Mataji,
Yes.
can you take some, please? Just 2 questions. Can
Sure,
you
you guys are answering very nicely. This is your team.
No,
Okay,
no,
go.
Mataji. Just
Hello?
Go ahead, Rishit.
Yes, yes, ask
Go ahead.
When we will get the teachable ones and notes quizzes?
We will let you know. We just check your WhatsApp messages regularly. Okay? Okay, Hare Krishna. Ananya Acharya, please unmute yourself.
Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe.
I want to ask that Krishna has given 2 choices to Duryodhan and Arjun, that I will be your chariot rider, and second that I will give my army to you. That Kauravas has that much army. How does Pandavas means that much army that even Kaurav has not? Pandavas has lose everything in the game. How?
Aishwarya, you can take it.
I didn't understand the question. only.
Yeah, she's asking a very interesting question. Ananya, can you please ask again how Pandavas has less army and Kauravas has more army?
Can I
Yeah.
tell you it is
No,
faster.
no. You are telling Pandavas had less army and Kauravas had more army, and still Pandavas won. Is that the question?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, because Rishikesha was with them. I told the 9 reasons now why Arjuna won in the first chapter. The Kapitwaja, the flag with the Hanuman symbol and all that. So Rishikesha, Krishna was with him. Who's Krishna? He is he's the winner of everything. Everything is under him. So if Krishna is in your side, obviously you win. If you have one person with you also, you win. So since Krishna was with them, the Pandavas, they won. And Lakshmi Devi was with them. The chariot, it was a divine chariot. And there was Hanuman in the flag. Hanuman supported Rama. And Rama won the race, right? And Rama is Krishna's incarnation. So that is another reason. And I told the Gandiva, the Shank, the Panchajanya, it was Mokshada Ekadashi. So there were 9 reasons why Pandavas won, even though their army was small. And it was Dharma Kshetra, and they were all in the right track, right? Dharma, and Krishna was with them. That is the main reason. Okay?
I think I need the class now. So
Yes,
maybe
Mataji. Yes, I can see
Monday you can-
Sakshi Mataji and all. Hare Krishna. Okay, thank you, kids. Thank you for joining. So we will meet tomorrow, and you can post the
Hare
questions in the WhatsApp. Thank you, Kalavati Mataji,
Hare Krishna,
Rushan
Mataji.
Prabhu, Kartik Prabhu.
Hare
Thank you so
Krishna
much, Prem
Mataji.
Kishori
Hare Krishna
Mataji.
Prema Kishori
Thank you,
Mataji.
Isha, for your support. Hare Krishna, Hari Bol.
Thank you, Aishwarya. It was brilliant. Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Aishwarya Mataji. Hare Krishna Prem Kishori Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Rashan.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Okay, so only the Sadhu Sangha girls should stay behind. Everybody else may leave the class. This is only ladies group. So we have only Sadhu Sangha girls now.